Hey, fight fans, welcome back to Carlo Prusa MMA. Today, I have a very special guest. My guest is a PFL veteran, and he got a big win Friday night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin over Handesson Ferreira in the co-main event of XFC 51. He is the postman. He is Mr. Dilano Taylor. Dilano, what's up, man? How are you doing? Enjoying the victory from Friday?
What up, bro? I'm man. I'm feeling great. Mm, I don't know. I feel like I didn't even fight because I guess I didn't fight. I just beat somebody up.
Going into the contest, this is one that I was really interested in. I think Handesson Ferreira is a very skilled athlete. He's been dominating competition, and you went in there, man. You made it look easy. You got a very quick finish. Walk me through that choke. When you had him on the ground, at what point did the rear naked open up for you?
Um, well, for me, one thing I'm really good at is actually attacking the back. Whenever I get to someone's back, usually I find the sub and I'll finish the sub. So the minute I got my my first hook in, I was like, oh, he's done. He's cooked. I already knew it was over with when I felt that position. I just needed to just take my time and not rush the position, versus usual people they'll be like, I'm there, I'm there, let's get it. Like take my time, soften up the body a little bit, hit him a little bit, make him give me what I want.
In previous contests, he was really good on the ground. He picked up submissions of his own. Going into the contest, did you feel like you could get him on the ground? Was that the game plan going in it to try to get the takedown and finish him with the choke?
Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna knock him out. I thought I was gonna knock him out on the feet. I'm not gonna lie. Me and my coaches, even my teammates, they were like, "Yeah, bro, you're gonna put him out on the feet." But I still was drilling obviously to sub anybody. Like I feel like I can sub anybody on any given day. I do this every single day. So and I don't really show them much, so people really think I can't do it. So when I do it, they're like, "Whoa, he can sub people too." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I'm a black belt that wrestle. Of course I can sub people and take them down."
You're a very well-rounded mixed martial artist. Obviously, you train at one of the best gyms in the world, Gilchrist MMA, with the rest of a bunch of killers and great high-level athletes. At what point in your career did you really start thinking, if I'm going to fight the best of the best, I need to try to be as well-rounded as possible?
Um, that was actually after my first loss as a pro fighter. Um, I feel like that fight helped navigate me to needing to train more people with like training with more like-minded individuals, and just changing my environment kind of just changed my perspective on fighting and how I perceived it. And it really showed me that fighting more so is a lifestyle versus just a date. Like everybody has a fight day, but it's really just a lifestyle choice. Like you really have to live fighting. Fighting has to be like something you breathe every day.
Following that first loss, I mean, you went on a very good win streak, which landed you in the PFL. Do you remember where you were when you got the phone call that you were signed to the PFL?
Actually, yeah, I do remember where I was. It was literally I got that call 2 weeks after I. It was literally 2 weeks after I just got my Titan FC belt. Like I just defended the strap, had a tough fight, and I feel like that fight was my hardest fight in my career. Um, After I defended that, and my boy Jordan Young, who was also in PFL, who had just passed, I get the call 2 weeks later, and they're like, "Yo, PFL's very interested in you. They want to put you on the Challenger Series, see what you're about. Such and such and such and such." I was like, "All right, cool." They told me the date was sometime in February. I was like, "All right, cool. Guess I'm gonna miss my birthday, but it is what it is." So I had 4 weeks. It wasn't really 4 weeks because it was I had to I had 2 weeks from the fight and then the following 2 weeks. So I had already been training. So basically, it was like 2 weeks leading up to that Challenger Series that I had to really get ready. So it was like, okay, whatever, stay ready. I don't care who I have to fight. Just send me the guy and we'll work for that. I remember I actually was in my car when my manager called me telling me that I was going to they wanted me on the Challenger Series. I was like, all right, yo, that's dope. Let's do it.
After a few fights in the PFL, you got a really tough guy, obviously, in Magomed. Fight didn't go your way, but what were some learning things that you took from that contest?
Um, Both Magomeds actually. The two things I learned for myself that I had to really introspect on was that I'm just as good, if not better, than these guys. Like these guys should not be beating me, like at all. Like these guys should not be even close to the same caliber of fighter as the same caliber of athlete as I am. Like it took me a while to really get to that point in my head, and really seeing myself do the work in the gym on a daily basis, and how I'm moving with people, and how frustrated people are when I do certain things, and how I really put it together when it's really time for me to put it together. Um, it really helped me put into perspective that a lot of these guys aren't ready for what I have to offer at all.
Following the first Magomed fight, you got a huge name, Mr. Rory McDonald, big name, obviously big UFC. Go out there, you put an amazing contest, got the job done in a finish in the first round. Walk me through that finishing sequence.
Um, the finishing sequence for Rory was honestly, for Rory, I didn't really have a strict strategic game plan for Rory because it was on a short notice. So I kind of went out there and just said, I'm going to fight this man and do my thing and see how this goes, and kind of just play the game, take my time, bide my time, and really make it happen when it's time to make it happen. And when the opportunity presented itself, it was just like almost surreal because I thought he was faking with me when I dropped him and apparently put him out. I thought he was just like joking. I thought he was gonna like try to pull a guard or something, but I was like, oh no, he's seriously hurt. Let me go out there and finish this fight.
Even though that contest was on short notice, took a really tough guy on short notice, was it a no-brainer to accept that?
Yeah, no brainer. I mean, the UFC could have told me that, hey, I need you to fight the champion right now on short notice, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, definitely no brainer. It's opportunity. I stay ready for opportunity.
Now, following that victory, what were the reactions like? I mean, were you blowing up all over social media after that one?
I was actually. I remember that year was the two most viral finishes that I had in PFL. The first one was on the Challenger Series with Mark Martin, where it was the whole scenario with breaking his orbital and his eye protruding out of his head. And then the second one was obviously Rory McDonald.
No, you're a very fun fighter. You go out there, you get a lot of finishes. You're really exciting to watch. You take a lot of pride in that.
I take a lot of pride in going out there and performing to the best of my abilities. Not more so just finishing, but actually being able to go out there and perform. Because I feel like a lot of people, they're really good, they're talented, but when it's time to really turn on and go out there and fight, they can't fight. Like it's hard for them to get themselves there. So I take a lot of pride in having the ability to be able to go out there and mentally get myself there and show what I'm capable of when it's time to show what I'm capable of. On any given day when I'm healthy, and even on my worst day when I'm healthy, I just know I can beat anybody in the world.
So obviously you just fought over at XFC. They went through a rebirth this year. They're doing really big things. Every single card they've been doing lately has been multiple UFC vets, multiple PFL vets. It's kind of crazy that this is a regional promotion. But overall, how did you enjoy fighting with them?
Oh yeah, they were great. I definitely enjoyed fighting with the promotion. They were really cool. Really good energy, really cool people. Milwaukee actually was really dope. I don't know what I was expecting out of Milwaukee, but it definitely was pretty good. I definitely enjoyed my time out there for sure.
Now, going forward now, does this victory, obviously Handesson, not a guy that's in the UFC or anything, but who's made a really big reputation for himself. So he's been dominating. You went there and you made it look easy. Does this reinforce that Dilano Taylor should be fighting the best fighters in the world?
Absolutely, 100% reinforces it, especially for myself. Like, yeah, the guy was realistically speaking like 22-5 because he had two bare knuckle fights, and if you're fighting bare knuckle, I think you're a pretty tough guy personally. And he dominated those guys in those fights. And a lot of the fights in PFL he dominated. He also, I believe, made it to the semifinals or I think the finals. But he's a tough guy. Like he's no slouch, and definitely double the record of my wins for sure. So I thought that guy was. I don't know. I just thought it was going to be a lot tougher in my head, but when it came down to it, it was just my cage. It was my time. It was what I needed to do for me.
You're a guy that's already fought at one of the biggest shows in the world, obviously the PFL. Has the goals changed from where it is right now to when you first started in this sport?
My goals have never changed. My goal has always been to be a champion in a major organization, and I know I will be a champion in a major organization. The only thing that's changed is how I assess. I've just had to reassess how I'm going to get to those points, whether it's just taking those little increment steps, because I've had to almost take a couple steps back to make bigger jumps going forward. And I think the only thing that has really changed was my mindset when it comes to assessing how I'm going to approach it versus thinking that I need to rush to get there as opposed to not enjoying the journey. Before it was like I needed to get there, I needed to get there, I needed to get there. I'm going to get there, but like it's never a matter of if I'm going to get there. It's when I get there, and I know I'm going to get there. So there's no question in my head now whether or not I deserve or am supposed to be or going to build myself to that position.
Do you feel that fighting is more mental than it is physical?
I think fighting is 100% more mental than physical. Um, I see guys who in the gym on a daily basis who look like hamburgers. Like they don't really put much effort into doing anything, and then they go out there and win fights. They look terrible in the gym, and their mindset when it's time to fight is, "I'm gonna come to hurt you. I'm gonna come to win. I'm gonna come to finish this fight." And I think 100% mental is everything when it comes to fighting. You see guys like Sean Strickland. I think he's good. I don't think he's 100% well rounded because obviously he doesn't show anything super special in his fights. But he comes out there to fight mentally. You look at the guy. He looks like he has a beer belly. The dad bod and everything. He just comes out there and knocks dudes out because his mindset is everything. I'm going to win. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to kill you. Like that mindset is everything.
Now you're on a bit of a win streak. You have a lot of momentum going your way. UFC, obviously, a show that a lot of fighters want to aspire to try to go there. You have not done that yet in your career. Do you think you're closer now?
Absolutely. I think I'm absolutely 100% closer. Either Contender Series, uh, maybe this year, or even 2024, or a short notice fight this year or in 2024. But I for sure definitely feel like I am knocking on some doors now, and I'm creating that momentum and creating that traction necessary for me to be at the level that the level that I envision myself at.
Is that the main objective for you now? Is the next goal the UFC, or are you trying not to think about too much?
No, my next goal is the UFC, but I'm not gonna kill myself or make it so strictly based on getting to the UFC. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, the next fight has to be me fighting the UFC. If it takes me 2 fights, 3 fights, 5 fights to get to the UFC, then I'll have to fight those 5 fights to get to the UFC. No problem. It is what it is. But you know, I just know that goal is one of those major goals that I have set for myself. The UFC, and then win and earn my spot to become a UFC champion.
It's kind of crazy to think you're only 27 years old. You've had a bunch of pro fights already in the PFL. Do you feel right now, 27, you're just getting the prime of your career and the best Dilano Taylor we haven't seen yet?
I don't even think this is the best. I don't even think this is the best Dilano Taylor right now. I think this is the awakened Dilano Taylor. Like, I feel like before, when I was in PFL, when I first got there, I was like the embryo stage. I was like, oh, I'm a little kid, 24 to just turn 25, ready to just go out here and fight anybody. Not mentally as mature as I am currently. Like I feel like those 2 years makes a massive difference when it comes to overall growth and maturity. And I think the maturity is what's single-handedly the biggest difference in my approach now to fights and fighting than anything else. And I think now I'm in that. I'm definitely past the development stage because I've already had that. I think right now I'm in the I want to say teenager stage for myself when it comes to fighting. Like teenager, almost like 18 years old adult when it comes to fighting. Not in the grown man strength yet, but I'm like almost there.
How do you think this mixed martial arts journey has evolved you as a person and a mixed martial artist?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I think mixed martial arts saved my life. I think if I didn't have this, I'd probably be a delinquent. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, yeah, I had a good mom. My life was okay, relatively speaking. But I don't think if I didn't have this type of structure in my life, I would be anywhere necessary for me to be as accomplished as I am currently. I think it wouldn't have developed me to be the human that I am today. Like, I want to be as good of a human as I am right now if I didn't have martial arts.
The sport has evolved so much now. So many people are watching it. You have boatloads of fans watching it every single weekend. They look at the Conor McGregors, the Usmans, the John Joneses, and they're like, "Oh, what a life it is to be a fighter! That's the greatest thing ever to be a professional mixed martial artist." Yet, I think very few know the sacrifices that it takes to fight at the highest level. Obviously, when you're first starting off in smaller regional promotions, money's not there, as you could probably attest to. There's some guys who have to work full jobs. You have to pay for the training. Some guys have kids. They have wives. They have to spend hours and hours training, getting punched in the face, beating up on guys who want it just as bad as they do. What has made you stick motivated to get through these sacrifices, my friend?
For me, I had to take motivation out of the equation because motivation is so temporary for me. Like, there's days where, like, I used to get up and uh, I remember when I first started doing this, I wanted to get up every day and just oh man, I can't wait to get to the gym. I'm gonna get there 2 hours early, do this, and this, and blah 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 blah. I'm gonna accomplish this so much today, and then you start getting a little older, and your body starts breaking down a little bit more, and you're like, damn, I'm really not as efficient as I used to be. Then you start to lose a sense of purpose and a sense of confidence, because confidence is also one of those things that's temporary. You can have a bad day, and then all of a sudden you're not as confident as you was the day before. I feel like for me, it was just the overall mindset of just doing the work daily. Just do the work daily and really just focus on little things. Like, I don't need to focus on massive things in order for me to evolve and progress into the best fighter overnight. I just need to focus on little things. Whether it's, okay, cool, this week we're only going to work a jab, and we're going to just play with the jab, and we're only going to just do everything centered around the jab, and then I can build off that. All right, this week, all right, we're only gonna wrestle, and we're only gonna, like, MMA wrestle. Like, we're gonna chain wrestling, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and I kind of make it like a like a game in my head, to where, like, I don't feel overwhelmed. It's so simple, but it's just little things that you can do that really makes the overshadowing aspects of fighting more practical for me to do easy.
Another way in which I think the sport has evolved is you're seeing a lot of personality now. Personality entertainment has really been something that we're seeing. There are even guys in the UFC who put on a character. They're someone they're not, but they're doing it because it helps them get to the title, helps them make more money. In addition to being a high level guy, training 365 days a year, being very well rounded, is personality something you're considering as well to maybe try to implement?
Um, One thing with me, it's like I know exactly what you're talking about. I see it all the time. It's like I've met a lot of these fighters. I know a lot of these fighters, and I know a lot of people want to do this thing where they create a persona, but it's so gimmicky, so corny, so childish. And I feel like we're in an era where everybody wants to be just like everybody else, and nobody wants to be like themselves. For me, it's I don't wanna have to be put in a box where I need to become gimmicky or come up with, like, anything that just makes me seem like something I'm not. I just want to be myself. I don't need to go out there and market myself to be like, oh, I'm the guy who's gonna dye his hair and do all types of crazy flips and blah 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 blah. I want to be the guy where, like, yo, that's the postman. Like, this guy's dangerous. Like, I want people to. I want to be like Alex Pereira. The man barely talks because he doesn't speak English, but people see him and they just know. You know, he's never not himself. He's never not Alex Pereira.
Another way in which the sport has changed, obviously, the fan base. You see a lot of more fans now, which is great for the sport. For me, I can't go to a bar to watch fights anymore because these casuals drive me crazy. You're watching two guys, jiu-jitsu practitioners battling for positions, and they're going to twist them in the what and booing, and they're humping each other and all this crazy stuff. Now, what are your thoughts on the whole casual fan? Is that something we need? Do you get frustrated by it?
I mean, I can't get frustrated by the casual fan because they're the one paying the bills. You know, like they're just there for the entertainment, whether they know or not. Now, if it comes to a point where it's they're getting disrespectful to me personally, or to someone I'm with, or someone I know, it's like, oh, then that's there. But I can't really get mad at someone for having an opinion. Everybody has opinions. Everybody has to talk. Everybody has something to say. And I feel like a lot in the beginning of my career, I was so oriented and so fixated on what other people thought. But the minute I just got rid of that, everything just got so much better. I just stopped thinking about what other people think and just only focused on how I feel, what I think, what adjustments I can make, how can I improve myself, how can I improve the people that I'm around, the people that I actually care about, and how can I minimize and mitigate all of that, those feelings that would come towards me just based off of what people were saying or what I was saying.
All right, Delano, last question for you, my friend. We got about 3 more months left here in 2024. What's next for you ideally? Do you want to stay as active as possible? Are you eyeing that contender series next summer?
If I could get one more fight before the year's over, I'd be happy. That's definitely what I'm looking for. And I want to come in running out the gate freaking 2024 strong. I know I have 3 months left, like you said. Literally, I just had a fight. I'm back in the gym. I took no injuries, no damage. I'm not even sore. Like, I'm not even sore from getting off the plane, which is weird. So I definitely want to, at least if I get one more fight, maybe in December I get one more fight, perfect. Um, and then just ride out the rest of the year, chilling. But if not, then we're just building towards next year, creating a strategy, building the game plan, really building what I envision for myself and the year to come out from now.
Well, Delano, my friend, thank you so much for talking to me. Congratulations again, man. I hope to see you get a fight soon, and look forward to covering you throughout your career, my friend.
Thanks, Carlos. Appreciate you.
All right, well, that's it for us today. That is the postman, Mr. Delano Taylor. I'm Carl Cruz. Stick around, fight fans.